Today I'm going to talk about 5 cards that I think have potential to go up in value later on in time. But first of all, who am I? I'm Lord Kai. I collect Pokemon trading cards, I play the Pokemon video game, I compete in tournaments, I host my own tournaments online and in person, I play TCG Pocket online, I play Pokemon Go, I used to play Pokemon Sleep, not anymore, and I have Pokemon themed undies. So I like Pokemon. I've been in the hobby for a very long time now, more predominantly playing the video games and collecting cards here and there. Pokemon as of now is like this, right? It's booming like absolute crazy. Lots of people returning back to the hobby, lots of new people get into the hobby, lots of people making investments, lots of people scalping, lots of people doing many different things with Pokemon itself, right? It's become more crazier than the COVID boom, to be honest. And prices of Pokemon cards have never been higher than ever, which makes it a little bit difficult to find cheap cards. That's why I'm doing this video today, to hopefully give you some insight on some cards that I think have potential value to go up later in price, and right now you can grab it at cheap prices, right? If you're new here, thanks for coming in. Hopefully you find some value in my content. If you've been here before, I hope you've been keeping it clean in between. Let's go on. That's a bloody long intro. Right, the first card we're going to look at is Wiglet. Now, those people that have played the Scarlet and Violet game know who Wiglet is. It's a regional variant of Diglett in Scarlet and Violet. Now, this card, it says $19 there, but ungraded here is $8.93, right? Cheap card for under 10 bucks, right? The one thing you want to look at is PSA 10. PSA 10 is $164.15. Now, why is it that kind of high for a cheap card? Well, it's quite difficult to find a card with good centering, especially from the Scarlet and Violet base set, right? You can see on the left there, it's kind of smaller, and the right side is kind of right side heavy. So that in itself can depict and show you that it is kind of hard to grade. There are only 13 sold listings since 2023, and the first sold listing ever was 70 bucks, right? Right now, the most recent sold listing was 250 bucks. Some poor soul just went ham and just laid 250 bucks. It might have been an auction at the time. But yeah, very low pop card that you can get for PSA 10. I wouldn't advise buying the PSA 10 at that price, but I would advise buying raw cards and possibly getting it graded, right? Nice card. Moving on. We've got Clauncher here. Clauncher, not a very desirable Pokemon or card in my opinion. However, at a low price of $7.74, you can find yourself finding a good graded or good scented card of Clauncher, because this is also from Scarlet and Violet era. And you can actually make a lot of money on this, in turning it into a PSA 10 or holding on to for a value for equity later on in track. Now, there are 11 sold listings. One was sold of January 23rd this month at $252. You can see the trend here where, you know, people from 2023, they already had it graded and sold it for 62 bucks, but something happened here from between April and, is that April? Yeah, April and of 2024 and October, right? There's a few months in between. The reason for that is the hype for Surging Sparks coming out, right? And the hype for new sets, Team Rocket, blah, 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 all that kind of shit coming out. So people either manipulated the market or just had it at high prices, and people sold it at their own right time, and people were buying it. So look, Clauncher, it's also got Scroll Up in the background, just like the Wiglet did. Nice looking card, but not the best looking card, but it is cheap for $7.74 if you want to add it to your collection, or maybe see if you can get something graded. Next is a nice little card. We've got Snorlax from Lost Origin from the Sword and Shield era. Right, you've got the commander in the back eating or drinking, and we've got Snorlax just helping himself to, could be just like Banh Mi for all I care. Now, I don't know if they made Banh Mi back in the day in Hisui, but you know, $2 at its lowest price when Lost Origin had come out, right? You can see the boom has gone crazy. It already started low, it boomed, it dipped. It boomed, it dipped. It boomed, it dipped, and it boomed. And it stayed boomed. It got plus 153%, right? So ungraded is 10 bucks. A bit more than the Clauncher itself, but the PSA 10 is $120. Now look, I wouldn't advise buying a PSA 10 of this card, but I would advise maybe try to find some raw ungraded cards, because Lost Origin, you can get a decent centering on these. In my opinion, I like this card. I think I might try to find it and try get it. It reminds me when I played the Legends Arceus game. Love that game. Can't wait for Pokemon Day to release more information on Legends ZA so I can play that game and spend more money on Pokemon. But I think you can see the trend is slightly starting to grow up, right? It leveled out here. But now 2025 with the boom, it's gone up by like $2 or whatever. But I like this card, you know, undervalued in my opinion. Doesn't have to be your opinion, but it's what I like, and I think has potential. Next card, I believe, has a lot of potential if you can find a good grade of this card or a good centering of this card, which is Furry Giraffe, right? Evolves from Girafarig, Generation 2 Pokemon. I'm glad it got an evolution, which is great. I can probably tell you that half the people, maybe even more, don't know how Girafarig evolves into Furry Giraffe in the games, but that's not the point here. The point is that if you can find this card at $11.69, you're in a bargain. However, it needs to be good centering, right? It's very hard to find good centering here. Now, the centering here on the picture is actually quite good, really good centering. Might be a little bit top heavy, but very good centering. That's almost a PSA 10, if anything. So if you can find something that looks like that, you're in the money. Because PSA 10, $312, right? Massive increase into a PSA 10, right? It's up 100% already as a raw card. You can see the last sold listing was January this month for $390, bro. $390, insane. So, in my opinion, I love this card. You know, you can see the Furry Giraffe, the tail, the armor tail there. Shout out to Luca Cerabelli, who won Worlds with this Pokemon last year in the video game. Now, next is a wild card, no pun, but this is a wild card, right? I'm just throwing this out there because I think it would be really funny if you can get this card. I'll tell you why. Tarantula, right? Nobody knows Tarantula unless you play Scarlet and Violet games or have been collecting this card, right? What the hell is this Pokemon? Okay, this card goes for $7.79, right? $70.79. This card, why? Don't know. I'll tell you why. Because I kind of know. Number one, you might notice there's a Scyther up there. Gen 1 Pokemon. Any Gen 1, Gen 2, maybe Gen 3 Pokemon, suddenly the price of the card increases. Now, people may not have noticed that there's a Scyther there, but hopefully I brought your attention to it. That's trying to eat this Tarantula. Eat this almost half spider. The PSA 10. Have a look at the PSA 10. $601.41. Why is it so high? Because there's only been one sold listing. One sold listing, and that was last year in August. So this is pretty much no pop, or like pop 3, it says here. Very low pop card. Now, it's a wild card. If you can find a great grading, get some people to look at it, get some opinions on it, people that experts, people that you know, and you can get this card into a PSA 10, and you're in the money, right? Wild card. Underrated, undervalued, not undervalued, but not underrated actually. I don't know what I'm talking about because I have no script when I'm doing these videos. But this is kind of like the diamond in the rough, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. So if you can find it, good luck. I wish you all the best. Now, that's my 5 cards pretty much, but I'm going to throw in some extra content in here. The extra content that I want to throw in here was Japanese cards. There's a new set that's come out which is called Battle Partners. The English version is Journey Together. Okay, people are going crazy for it. In my opinion, there's not that many desirable cards except for a few, but the ones that you obviously want are the trainer cards. Nobody wants Hop. Everybody wants Iono, Lily, and N, right? Those are the 3 people that people want. Now, Journey Together might add more trainers and more cards into it later on, like the English version, but Battle Partners is done, right? It's already been printed. This card I pulled on one of my videos. Love this card. I looked at it, amazing. You know, the colors are just like fruity, bright. There's a Magnemite cloud in the back. Iono is like in a baby form, eating a sandwich, hugged by Kilowatt Rock. Beautiful card. Very underrated, right? It says here for $9.44, and that's probably because it's AUD. But ungraded is $17 Australian dollars, right? So I think this card has potential to go up and up. You know, historically, if you have a female Japanese trainer card, the self-fulfilling prophecy is that Japanese people love their female trainer cards, okay? That's just how it is. You can make up your own theories on that. I have my own. But I think if you can get these cards at under $20, it is definitely worth. Because look at the card. Magnificent. And a PSA 10 would go for a lot. There's no listing for a PSA 10 here yet. But I have one, and I might go get it graded after my other ones come back. So it originally was $25 USD, right? I wish this site could into AUD. But anyway, we're talking about AUD here. So now it used to be what, $40, let's say, $40 Australian dollars, right? It dips. You buy the dip, guys, right? It's very hard to buy the dip for Pokemon cards here at the moment, and this is a rare opportunity where you can probably spend a bit of your hard-earned cash on a card that I think has potential to go up later on. Okay, the female trainer cards don't hit as hard as the English ones. Okay. Now, all you probably see, if you've seen my video, you might have seen other people's videos as well. And everybody's obviously talking about the Drowsy here, right? Everyone's talking about it. Drowsy. Drowsy, people were saying, yeah, I called it. You could have got it at $5. You could have got it at $1. You could have got it for a cheeseburger, whatever. It's a great card. I love it. Great card. There is a little bit of manipulation here, but at the same time, the artwork is now seeing the actual appreciating value of it, right? Drowsy, creepy Pokemon. If you look at the Pokedex histories, it's very sinister and very dark about taking children and doing funny things to them. You know, this card started off really cheap. You know, it would have been less than $35, but now you can see that it leveled out for a bit. You could have got it for, actually, yeah, there you go. You could have got it for $7-8, right? And now look at it, boom. So the artist, Tomokazu Komiya, great artist. All right, if you look at his cards, historically, he's made some crazy cards. We'll pull them up here. And you can see here that his artwork, his theme, right? This guy is smoking something different when he draws cards, and I'm absolutely here for it. And I think that he should continue to probably make more cards. What the hell? I did not see this Politoed, but holy moly. Okay, Politoed. Let's talk about this Politoed, right? I love this Pokemon, and if I can get this card, is this from Neo Genesis? First edition. Yeah, might be. Wow, okay, I need this card. Well, just stumbled on a bit more different content here, but look, yeah, there it is. Neo Discovery, rather. Wow, okay, cool. There you go. Get a Politoed. I might see if I can cop that. But yeah, you can see these cards. The more recent ones are going to be the Baxcalibur, the Arctibax, and also the Frigibax. The Brute Bonnet's there, which is the Paradox version of Amoonguss. But you can see all the cards here are obviously similar themed, and these are very underrated cards, man. I think if you can like master set all these cards, he's probably got like 270 of them. You'd be in the money. But shout out to Kicks. I saw this earlier. Hitmonlee, great card. Love to see it. But the cards here all tell a story, right? And whatever story it might be is whatever story you might see. Which means all these Pokemon have taken mushrooms, where I think Brute Bonnet might have dealt some out here. What a card. But yeah. Another thing I wanted to touch on, actually, is Aldi. Aldi selling Pokemon cards. Now, the problem here is, now we've got Aldi selling Pokemon cards, is that Aldi might start undercutting other small businesses here, man. If they are coming up with $9-10 for Paldea Evolve, 3 blister packs, right, and a Varoom, that's severely undercutting smaller stores, unfortunately. So we can talk more about that later on. It was just a funny thing that I stumbled across, and this is Aldi in the UK. Aldi doing everyone dirty, but for like the cards are reasonably cheap. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Aldi selling Pokemon cards, right? Because if they're not locked behind a thing, you know, it's I don't know. I don't know what to say. Anyway, look. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much. Comment what you think of the video. If you want more like this, let me know in the comments. That's about it. If you like the video, drop a like. Help the algorithm a little bit, guys. I'm trying my best to make some content here. And subscribe. You know, 3,000 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away something massive. Maybe a greater card. We'll see how we go. But I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you keep it clean between, baby.